Paranorman on 4K Blu-ray. This is my review for day 14 of 31 in my 31 days of horror for 2023. And my kids, I don't want to say revolted, but they didn't want to watch anymore after about 30 minutes, and I'm glad we turned it off because it was way too scary for them. But I watched it later, and I mean, I've seen it before, but this movie is not for little kids. So I'll just say right off the bat, this 4K is absolutely phenomenal looking. This is absolutely one of the best that I've seen. This isn't my favorite movie. It's not my favorite Leica movie. But my goodness, the stop motion looks so good with the Dolby Vision and the 4K. And this movie starts with Norman basically watching like a VHS low quality horror movie. Cool synthesized soundtrack. Squeaks when she steps on it. See the jump cut, and then watch this when she opens the door. See that? It's like the Hitchcock zoom in while zooming out, or rolling in while zooming out, or the other way around. So it's just funny. This like VHS horror movie actually has a lot of the like common horror things in it, even though it only goes for about 30 seconds until her brain starts getting eaten, and then his grandma. So Paranorman, he can see dead people. So automatically you have some Sixth Sense-ish thing going on there. But his grandma's like talking to him about the movie, and I love what she says right here. So you hear the crunch.
What's happening now? Well, the zombie is eating her head, Grandma.
Gross.
That's not very nice. What's he doing that for?
Anyway, you just hear this like crunch. It's pretty disgusting. So you got two loners here. Paranorman sees dead people, so he likes to just be alone. And then you have this kid who's, I guess, just like a fat kid. And so that's his... Well, he goes through all the stuff that he could be bullied for. But then he explains bullying to Paranorman. Or his name's Norman, but I'm going to call him Paranorman. Anyway, listen to this genius explanation of bullying.
Irritable bowel syndrome. I guess there's a whole bunch of stuff. Doesn't it bother you?
Nah, you can't stop bullying. It's part of human nature. If you were bigger and more stupid, you'd probably be a bully too. It's called survival of the thickest.
That's a really great explanation of being a bully. Says if you were bigger and dumber, you would probably be a bully too. It's just like, okay. Ultra realistic portrayal of a kid trying to not go to a school play.
I will never get to remember this moment.
So much going on here. Some parents are dragging their kid into the school play, and then it sounds terrible, like the singing is awful, and then the dad's fussing with his camera, and he's like, I'll never be able to remember this moment. And he's in a sea of cameras that are on, like you can see all the red dots. So that's a very good... There's a lot of that kind of subtle humor in this movie. Like, it's very funny, and it's very, like, there's a lot of layers to everything, and there's tons of like spoken under the breath dialogue that's hilarious, and a lot of like little props that are like Easter eggs. So just like a good stop motion movie and like other Leica movies, it's just loaded with detail and attention to detail and humor and like multi-layers of humor. But ultimately, yeah, I won't be showing this to my kids anytime soon. I'm in no hurry to show the rest of this movie to them. Like I said, they made it about 30 minutes until Norman was going into his dead uncle's house where the body's still there, so that he could like pull the book out of the body's hand. And that started to be too much. So we fast forward a little bit of that. And then he's going into like this scary grave site in this scary forest. And they were just like, nope. So I was like, okay. Then we watched Star Wars Terror Tales. It was special. If you have any recommendations for Halloween movies for little kids, like we're talking 2 years old, 4 years old, 8 years old, I would love to hear them. Because apparently I keep picking bad ones and having to turn them off after a few minutes. So these zombies show up, and the townsfolk are all freaked out. But you want to know who's the most freaked out? the zombies. They're freaked out at all these modern humans and the crazy stuff they're doing. And then, ironically, you basically have the zombies trying to get away from the humans. There's even a part where a lady is like biting one of their arms. A human lady is biting a zombie arm. But the reason these zombies are here is actually a really cool, like, Salem witch style, like, zombie mashup, cool plot. Like, so you have this group of, I guess, like, old-timey Eastern American, like, Puritan people that killed a witch, essentially. And it was basically like a girl with special powers, and they killed her because she was different and they were afraid. And the reason they're all still alive is because, well, there's other reasons, but they feel bad, they regret it, and they're like super remorseful for their decision. And it's kind of a cool story. Like, we've never seen like undead people that are cursed like for 300 years that are like super regret like killing a witch. So I thought that was a cool plot, actually. But speaking of zombies, this is probably the best line in the whole movie. You see, the zombies are all terrified. Kill him in the head. I think it's perfect. But yeah, the people just start attacking them, and the zombies are not being threatening at all. And like any good little kid empowering movie where there's an angry mob and little kids and some magical thing and only the little kids can handle it, I love this. His sister standing up for him to all the adults.
Everybody listen up! You all need to stop trying to kill my brother. You're adults. Stop it.
Stop it.
I know that this seems crazy. Believe me, I am with you on
Anna
that.
Kendrick did awesome here. So one of my all-time favorite movie soundtracks of modern times, but ever, is The Fountain by Clint Mansell. I think that's how you pronounce it. This kind of climactic Paranorman music super sounds like the soundtrack to The Fountain, but if it's inspired by it or what, but it's really cool. So
No.
you can hear it.
No, I'm not leaving. Just listen to me. Once upon a time, long ago, there was a little girl.
What?
A little girl who was different from the other people in our village.
I'm not listening.
Anyway, I can't really play too much of it, but what I'm finding similar is that there's just like this beat that's going, and it's kind of getting faster and faster and faster, and then the, I don't know, cellos or violins or whatever. Anyway, it's just building and building and building and building, and it kind of reminds me of like the climactic end music from the movie The Fountain. And I think it fits perfectly in here because he's being heroic and he's being brave, and but he's also being like understanding and loving with this little girl that's just like stuck in this 300-year curse, and he's trying to just free her. So it's very cool music and very powerful. So Paranorman on 4K Blu-ray. This thing is absolutely jaw-dropping on 4K, like pretty mind-boggling. It had fun Dolby Atmos. It was all over the place and very creepy. It had it's just a fun little Halloween yarn for not little kids. It's not my favorite Leica, like I said. I think Kubo and the Two Strings is absolute my favorite of what they've done. I still haven't seen Missing Link. I need to watch that. Strangely, my kids love Box Trolls. I would not have thought that was a movie that they would love, but they really, really like it. Especially my 4-year-old. She's always asking to watch it. But this has been day 14 of 31 in my 31 days of horror for 2023. So if you like this kind of thing, join me, and please push the like button or the not like button and let me know what you think. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.